For centuries, a single piece of melted wax and a small metal ring carried more legal power than any signature does today. Forge it, and you could impersonate a king. So why did an entire civilization trust something so small to guard its biggest secrets? The story starts in ancient Mesopotamia, roughly 5,000 years ago, where officials used carved cylinder seals, small stone cylinders engraved with intricate designs, rolled across wet clay to leave a unique impression. These weren't decorative. In a world without widespread literacy, a seal was often the only reliable way to prove a message, contract, or command truly came from the person who claimed to send it. Losing your seal wasn't just inconvenient, it meant losing your identity in every transaction that mattered. Ancient Egypt took this concept and shrank it down onto the hand itself. By around 2000 BCE, Egyptian officials and pharaohs were using signet rings, carved with hieroglyphs or personal symbols, pressed directly into wax or clay to seal documents and letters. The design carved into the ring's face was often deliberately unique, sometimes even a closely guarded secret pattern, making forgery extremely difficult for anyone without direct access to the ring itself. The ancient Greeks and Romans expanded signet ring use dramatically, turning it into an essential tool of both commerce and government. Roman citizens of status frequently wore engraved rings used to seal private letters, business contracts, and legal documents, and a Roman general's signet ring authorizing military orders carried genuine institutional authority. Losing your ring in ancient Rome wasn't just an inconvenience. It meant someone else could potentially forge your identity and issue orders or agreements in your name. Signet rings took on even greater weight throughout medieval Europe, where literacy remained rare even among nobility. Kings, bishops, and powerful lords relied on their personal signet ring, pressed into hot wax, to authenticate royal decrees, treaties, and private correspondence. A monarch's signet often carried more legal weight than an actual written signature, since so few people could reliably read or write their own name, let alone verify someone else's handwriting. This system created a genuine security crisis whenever a ruler died. Many medieval monarchs required their personal signet ring to be physically destroyed immediately upon their death, specifically to prevent anyone from continuing to forge royal documents using the deceased ruler's seal. The moment a king's heart stopped, his signet ring was often smashed or melted within hours, a startling reminder of just how much power that small object genuinely held over an entire kingdom's official business. Espionage and secret communication relied heavily on signet rings throughout medieval and Renaissance Europe. Spies and diplomats often carried specially designed rings capable of sealing letters with codes or symbols recognizable only to specific intended recipients, allowing sensitive messages to pass through hostile territory while appearing to be ordinary sealed correspondence. Some rings were even designed to conceal tiny hidden compartments, capable of hiding small notes, poison, or other secret items beneath a hinged bezel. Forging a signet ring's design became a serious crime across much of medieval Europe, punishable severely because of how much trust and authority these small objects carried. Skilled counterfeiters who successfully replicated a noble or royal seal could potentially forge entire legal documents, land transfers, or diplomatic agreements. Governments and wealthy families invested heavily in increasingly intricate, difficult-to-replicate designs specifically to stay ahead of these determined forgers. As European literacy rates gradually improved throughout the 1500s and 1600s, actual handwritten signatures slowly began supplementing, and eventually replacing, wax seals as the primary method of authenticating official documents. Signet rings didn't disappear immediately, but their practical legal necessity steadily declined as more people could reliably read and write their own names, reducing the need for a physical object to prove identity. By the 1800s, signet rings had largely transformed from essential legal tools into symbols of family heritage, status, and tradition rather than genuine practical necessity. wealthy families continued commissioning custom engraved signet rings, often passed down through generations, but their original security purpose had faded significantly as modern signatures, official documents, and eventually photographic identification took over the role signet rings once served exclusively. From clay cylinder seals in ancient Mesopotamia, to Egyptian pharaohs pressing hieroglyphs into wax, to kings ordering their own rings destroyed the moment they died, to hidden compartments used by Renaissance spies, the signet ring carried an authority far beyond its small size for thousands of years. A tiny piece of engraved metal once determined whether a message, contract, or command could genuinely be trusted. The next time you see a decorative ring, remember, objects like it once held the power to make or break entire kingdoms.